Okay, quick session about SMART objectives. SMART is simply an acronym that stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Now you might find other definitions of SMART, and there's a few permutations of what you can use. These ones I like, and I'll try and explain it in this context. So think of an objective. I'm going to use a simple one. To shoot a video. And in my mind, I'm framing something like this. I've got an idea of the video, and I want to explain to someone else, look, I want to do a project, I want to shoot a video. This objective here, inside my head, I know it implicitly. I've got a lot of background, but what I fail to do is to communicate the specific nature of it. And often this is what affects a lot of projects. In your head, it makes sense. You take it out and give it to someone else, they give you a different result, and you're like, dude, that's not what I wanted. So, think of specific as a set of concentric circles. As you add information, it starts becoming more and more clear, and there's a greater chance that we're going to be on the same page. So for me saying to shoot a video, at this point, all the stakeholders might have different perceptions about what the video is about, what the format of the video is, so and so and so. As I start to increase information to shoot a video on project management, okay, now we all know it's a video on project management. We're getting closer and closer. A video about SMART objectives, great. I could add the length of the video and so on. So this is about me making it more specific and bringing people together. So for me to make this more specific, I'm going to shoot a video to explain SMART objectives in a project management context. That's making it more specific. Measurable. To what degree are we going to use to measure this? How are we going to determine whether it's a success or a failure? So to shoot a video, if I shot a 30-second video or a 10-second video, technically I would have still met this objective. So I want to have a degree of measure that warrants the investment of resources. So to shoot a video which explains the outcomes of the SMART objectives, to shoot a video on high format, to shoot a video that can be used as an online platform, to shoot a video that's more than 30 seconds. Anything that you want to use as a metric to measure whether this objective has been attained, I'd add into the SMART objective. Achievable, we'll just leave that till last for now, but basically, can this objective be accomplished within your current constraints? Relevance really important for me, and for most of the things I undertake, I question, I say, why are we doing this? What's the purpose? If there's no force which drives this to be completed, often it will just fall by the wayside and it won't get done. So why am I actually doing this? Before you tell anyone else your objective, make sure this is clear inside your head. Why are we doing it? Is it to achieve strategic direction? Is it to help with our vision? Is it to increase revenue? Is it to enhance our product? Come up with a rationale why we're actually doing it. And make sure that's congruent with their needs as well. So if you're trying to motivate someone, show them why they should do it, what's in it for them as well. Okay. Time-bound. Little theory called student syndrome basically expresses that 2/3 the required work is performed within the last third of available time when there's a deadline. Cool. So deadlines are great. They achieve work and so on. If this deadline doesn't exist or gets pushed back, this curve doesn't get induced at all or gets induced at a later stage. So objectives without a timeline that needs to be done or reviewed by often go on forever. So do yourself a favour, have a deadline for this objective. Even if there isn't a requirement, create one. Otherwise you'll find it becomes inefficient and not done. Likewise, if it can be using the same model, don't give 6 months if it can be done in 3 months. Okay, so if you give 3 months and that's actually achievable, then give 3 months. And you'll find that you induce this student syndrome curve earlier on, and people tend to you tend to get a less degree of overcomplication in the objectives. Once you've done all that, then go through and question whether this is still achievable. Can we do this. We've got the specifications to the degree we want to do. That's the measurable. Is it relevant? Yes or no? And that, might dictate approvals and so on. It might not be achievable because we can't get approvals as it's no longer relevant. And also our time constraints. Achievable, you might also consider your other constraints, resources, dollars and people, approvals, gateways, processes. Another big one for achievable is, can we do it within our risk thresholds and our risk appetite? So write your objective. I tend to then use this as a litmus test. Is it specific enough? Test for me. Can I take my objective, give it to someone else, have them repeat it for me, and it makes sense? Right? Or ask my stakeholders a series of questions which enables me to determine that we're on the same page. Measurable. Have I articulated the degree to which I want to measure? Trying to make this an objective measure as well, so we know where the line is in the sand. Achievable. I look at my objective and say, can I actually do this? Relevant. I've gone through that to make sure it fits in with what we want to do. And also insert a time point. And that's as simply as going by the 21st of January 2016. That's it. And that is one way to make your objectives so much more smart. Poor use of English. So much smarter. And that, my friend, is an extension of the SMART model, which stands for evaluation and review points. But that's another story. It gets more confusing down that line, so SMART is sufficient. Hope that helped.